Hi there, and welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Rebecca Connolly, personal chef and kitchen coach, and I teach simple meal solutions that help you bring joy and connection back to your meal times. If you're joining live, say hello down below. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you're catching the replay, type hashtag replay so I know that you were here. Welcome, welcome. Well, I'm so excited for today's topic because today we're going to talk about how to go from overwhelmed to in control. We're going to take that CEO mindset of yours for business and we're going to apply it to the kitchen. So my question for you as we get started is, have you ever felt like you're constantly putting out fires? Fires in your home, not literal fires, hopefully not literal fires, damage control, right? Putting out fires in your home, putting out fires in your kitchen, putting out fires in your business. Some days it just tends to roll that way, right? My mom and grandma used to say things happen in threes, and there seems to be something to that. But no matter how much you do, right, there's always more waiting for you. So not just putting out those fires, but then there's that endless to-do list, right? All those reminders that keep popping up on your phone. I'm trying to use those more often and not keep it all up here because we can't do that. That's part of the overwhelm, keeping it all up in our heads, right? So I totally get it. And even with both kids off to college, there's still the overwhelm. So here's the truth. The difference between feeling overwhelmed and in control is how you approach the small daily decisions. These are the ones that add up, right? The small daily decisions, one right after the other. Successful CEOs don't wait for things to fall apart before they take action, right? That's being reactive. They have systems, they've set up boundaries, they put in place habits that keep things running smoothly, no matter what can happen, right? So the good news is you can take these same business techniques and approaches and you can apply them to your home and to your kitchen, as we're going to talk about today. So today, I'm going to talk about 3 mindset shifts that are going to help you go from reactive to proactive so you feel more in control and less stressed when it comes to your kitchen and cooking. Does that sound good? Let's dive in. Throw down an emoji down below. Give me a thumbs up, give me a fire, give me a heart if that all sounds good to you. So the first mindset shift that I want to talk about is to think ahead, not just think for right now, right? Reactive is when we're waiting until everything feels chaotic before we take action, whereas being proactive is creating systems that prevent the chaos in the first place. Or if something does happen, right, then we have a system in place to deal with it. So, for example, let's compare, contrast a CEO versus a struggling business owner. So, a struggling business owner is one who is scrambling to find clients each month because they don't have a system. Whereas someone who is in charge and in control of their business, that's what we mean by CEO, sets up systems for marketing, networking, client retention, so that the business flows consistently. There's some predictability to it, right? So now think about your home, think about your kitchen. What would be a reactive kitchen mindset? Well, and raise your hand if you've been here, because I know I have been many times, right? A reactive kitchen mindset is waiting until it's dinner time or waiting until the end of the day at 5 p.m. to figure out what's for dinner. This is when you're going to feel the most stressed, right? This is going to be when you're the most tired. You've already worked a full day. You've already, if you have kids in school, you've done activities, you're trying to fit dinner in between school and activities. So this is not the best time to be trying to plan what's for dinner, right? So what do we do when we're in this reactive mindset? Well, thankfully, and not so thankfully, we now have many quick options, and some of them are great options. And there are some evenings where this is absolutely what you need to do for yourself and for your family. Order that takeout, right? Go through that drive-through, pick up ready-made meals at the deli, even grab more of some high-quality freezer meals. Sometimes you absolutely do need to do that. And I know for us, it worked out well to just plan in what that day was going to be, given how, what we knew about the week that was going to be happening. Of course, you always have to expect the unexpected, right? But having that fallback in place is what is distinguishes the proactive mindset from the reactive mindset, right? A proactive kitchen mindset then is going to have a simple meal plan and a few go-to meals so that dinner is effortless when you're tired, when you're fatigued, when you cannot possibly make one more decision and you just want to sit down for 5 minutes with a cup of coffee and some quiet before you have to tackle the next thing, right? So, where in your home or business do you find yourself constantly putting out fires? Drop it down below. Let's give each other some encouragement, right? So, what's the lesson for this mindset? Small, consistent planning, right, equals big stress relief. So, not just a business lesson, but also, and not just a lesson for the kitchen, but also just a life lesson in general. All right, the second mindset shift. Delegate and simplify. CEOs do not do it all. They delegate and they simplify, right? So that's the number one myth, right? A CEO, but maybe we already know all these things. This, right? CEOs delegate, they simplify, they focus on what truly matters. And in the kitchen, the same applies, right? So this looks like what? This looks like using shortcuts, such as pre-chopped veggies, slow cooker meals, batch cooking. This looks like you could get the family involved. Even small kids can help set the table, right? Many hands make light work. Another thing my mom and grandma were fond of saying, and it's absolutely true. Many hands make light work. And another important piece of this is to let go of perfection. Dinner does not have to be a 5-star meal every night or any night. Okay, let go. I know there are so many resources out there, so many YouTube, TikTok, all the chefs are online these days too, right? And there are so many tips and tricks and wonderful things that we can learn from the restaurant chefs, the celebrity chefs, but all of that is also pressure. And it does not have to be a 5-star restaurant meal every night at your dinner table in order for it to be joyful, in order for it to be nourishing, for it to be delicious, and more importantly, just to bring you around the table with your loved ones for some time, even if it's only 15, 20 minutes of chat time, right? So in business, what does it look like to delegate and to simplify? Well, we automate tasks, right? We schedule our social media posts. We set up email sequences. We outsource when possible. So hire a VA, use grocery delivery. We also set boundaries. Time blocking is fantastic for this. Your time is valuable and you don't want to be in the kitchen for hours during the weekday and even on the weekends, right? So set those boundaries. So, what's one thing, just one thing, that you could simplify or delegate in your kitchen, home, or business this week? Drop it below. So, one simple thing that that I've delegated out in my family is that my husband takes out the trash. It's very simple. And of course, I will take it out if I need to, but it's very simple. It's very quick, but it's just one of those systems that keeps that particular, system working, flowing, right? So the lesson here is you don't have to do it all to be successful. Now, I don't know if I could delegate out the dishwasher. How many of you have a certain way that you have to load the dishwasher? I'm definitely guilty. I can have people unload the dishwasher, but I definitely need to be the one loading the dishwasher. So those are important things to figure out when you're delegating in the kitchen, right? What are those things that you absolutely need to be doing yourself? And what are those things that you can let go of and let someone else do? All right, and let's hit on the third mindset shift here. This is, and we touched on it, right? We touched on it with setting boundaries. CEOs protect their time and their energy. That's one of the biggest habits to learn, right? Protecting time. They don't waste energy on things that don't move the needle in business. So let's talk a little bit more about boundaries in both business and in the kitchen, you need clear boundaries to prevent burnout. You cannot be cooking breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks 7 days a week. 30 days a month, 365 days out of the year, right? We've all seen those reels and we've maybe even made some of them ourselves. That one of the biggest things about adulting is figuring out what dinner is every night. Well, it's not just dinner, right? It's breakfast, it's lunch, and it's any snacks in between in case we get hungry. So the overwhelm is real and the burnout is definitely real. So in your kitchen, in your home, protecting your time, what could this look like? Well, setting meal times and sticking to them. No short order cooking. When I was growing up, there after dinner, there was maybe about an hour where mom was cleaning up the kitchen, where we could still, grab maybe a little bit of dessert, have a second helping. But after that, the kitchen was pretty much closed for the night. There was not midnight snacking and going and grabbing at all hours of the night. And it's a little bit different when with our kids at home, but setting meal times and sticking to them. That way there is a structure. Right? There's a structure and there's something that everyone can depend on. And of course, be flexible. You don't need to be rigid. And if there are special considerations that need to be taken into account, then modify as needed, right? Say no to extra tasks that don't serve your priorities and also schedule downtime. You don't have to be productive 24/7. You don't have to be making breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack 7 days a week. Okay. So, and what does this look like in business? To set boundaries or to only to protect your time, to only focus on those things that move the needle, having office hours and sticking to them. Don't be answering your DMs at 10 p.m. I know I'm guilty too. Right? But that's why we've got that 2-hour DMO that we need to stick to at a certain time during the day, certain times during the week. That's when you follow up. Right? Same thing. Prioritizing tasks that actually grow your business and recognizing that rest is productive too. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to take a breath. In fact, you absolutely have to take care of yourself. And sometimes for me, self-care is getting into the kitchen, and I love to bake bread. I find baking bread to be very calming, very meditative, and it's also great for getting out those getting out those aggressions when you're kneading the yeast dough, right? So my question for you on this mindset is, what's one simple boundary that you can set this week to protect your own time and energy? Drop it down below in the comments. So what's the lesson for this third mindset shift? That your time is your most valuable asset. Guard it wisely. So quickly, let's recap. So today we talked about why thinking ahead versus reacting creates more peace in your home and in your business, in your mind and in your heart, right? How delegating and simplifying can make your life easier and also helps you succeed faster, and why protecting your time and energy is the key to avoiding burnout. Here's what you can do next. Drop your biggest takeaway down below in the comments. What's one thing that you're going to shift this week to feel more in control of your kitchen? And if you want my CEO Mindset Action Plan, drop CEO below and I will send it on to you. Stay tuned for our series next month. We're going to be diving into April's theme. I'll reveal that in my posts. If you're in my group, if you're on my feed, right? You're not going to want to miss it. Remember, being in control doesn't mean doing more. It means doing what matters and doing it with intention. I know you've got this, and I can't wait to see how you step into your CEO mindset in your kitchen this week. It's your time to cook, savor, and thrive. See you next week.